Episode 15, American Hammers TV. I'm here with Lee, as always. My name's Tim, and tonight we have a special guest from New York City Hammers. We have Sean with us today.
Hello.
And then we will probably touch a little bit near the end with the press conference today, if we have time, and maybe touch a little bit into the Everton match this weekend, and also explain what's going on with us on Saturday, because we're going to be at the Boston at that fan fest for NBC Sports, and that should be good. But I do want to mention the coffee that fuels me every episode. Strava Craft Coffee. There's a link in the description below. You can save 15% off your first order if you just click on the link below in the description. So thanks, Strava Craft. Cheers. So Sean, man, how you been, man? What's up?
Not bad, not bad. It's been an interesting couple of weeks, you know, with everything that's been going up with Declan Rice and all. So that's yeah, he went from like literally nowhere in the past 3 weeks to like winning young player of the award for Ireland to almost captaining the game Monday, and now it's just like, I guess there was a press conference today I didn't really catch this afternoon. So
it was basically just Manuel Pellegrini saying that, or somebody asked Manuel if if there's any truth to the rumors that Manchester United might be interested in Declan Rice, and if so, would he sell him come the summer? And he basically said, for the right price, anybody's for sale, really.
Yeah, true. No, I agree with that.
I mean, he didn't deny it. He didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. No, well,
so, Lee, you gotta.
Yeah. No, sorry. I had this computer thing happening. Yeah. I want to get to the Declan Rice thing a little later on.
Okay.
After talk to you, Sean, a little bit about New York. But let me just say this. I first of all, my rule is always, if you read it in the British press, it will absolutely not happen. So if you read about Manchester United swooping for Declan Rice and it's already in the papers, it's not going to happen. Remember, they were going to buy Arnautovic at the end of in the summer, and that didn't happen, obviously. My other thought is this board will absolutely lose the fan base, will lose the supporters if they sell Declan Rice. I just don't think they will have any idea what hit him if they do this. I don't think they can sell him. I don't think they'd sell him for £100 million. I think he's too important to West Ham and the future of West Ham. I think he's too popular. I know they've done this kind of thing in the past. Well, West Ham have done this kind of thing in the past, but I'm keeping the faith that we keep him. And that if we do sell him down the road, it's for a lot more money, and it's after maybe he's won something with us. Who knows? I know winning something at West Ham, not common, but we'll see. But I want to get back to that. But first thing we want to do, Sean, we want to talk to you about New York City Hammers, because you are, I think, kind of the godfather of the whole Hammers Supporters Club thing in the U.S. Pretty sure you guys were first. You guys maybe go back the farthest. Tell us, if you would, how you what your background is and kind of how you got started with the club in New York.
Club in New York. That's we're here. Previously, I'm a Boston College graduate.
Okay.
And when I graduated, I kind of stayed in Boston.
Yep.
And was working around the Saints. I was really not knowing what to do after college, after university.
Where are you from?
Well, let's just say New York. It's too confusing. But I used to live in Boston for a long time.
Yeah.
It was really vibrant with like the music scene that was up there. I don't want to get into that because that's going to take all hour. But like,
we'll do a different show on that. We'll do a whole different show on that.
Let's just put it this way: you guys are Revolution fans?
We don't watch a lot of
Revolution's ever been to a game?
I've been, yeah.
Oh yeah. We've been.
I've been to quite a few, but I don't watch a lot of them.
I'm not really saying how big, but you know that do they still do that song Augie 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 Oi Oi Oi? Do they?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Something started with the Bruisers, and it's like next thing I know, I left Boston around I left Boston 2001. But I remember going to a game 2002 because when I moved here, it was when I moved to New York, was September 1st, 2001.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So like I was still looking for a job, and then like the 11th happened,
Right.
and so like I kind of had fend back and forth. Thank you for the Chinatown bus. Every like work during the week and then come back up every weekend. So it's yeah. So pretty much like I would say, Boston is my home base, and but I was also watching like it was like in it's okay late '90s. I was starting like go around just watching games because that's when actually they were being televised. Like, for the first time, you wouldn't get like every game. It's not like how it is today, where at one point you could get every game on every different channel. Now I guess NBC's got like their NBC online some games, which is like yeah. I liked it better the other way. But beforehand, it was like maybe we'd get like a game a month.
Right.
If we were lucky. Maybe when we got relegated, it was maybe once every 3 months.
Yeah.
And it was kind of tough, but I just stuck it through. I mean,
why West Ham?
I did something horrible in a past life, obviously.
Yeah.
It's like
as we all did. Yeah. No, it's
if you believe in any Eastern philosophies, it's absolutely true. Yeah, strike through it and you break the chains off of your sins. No. Most of it was like, okay. I mean, who wouldn't want to be Cockney? I always wanted West Ham's because of the community. You know, it's the whole community. It's not the cultures. It's the community. They're the greatest people in the world. They, at the beginning, you always get like a little brush, like we don't need your with and all that. And you know, and especially living in Boston, where it's a population of mostly of people who are literally came over to work from Ireland. It's very, very frowned on. But I stuck through it a lot and just kept on going with it. I couldn't. When I lived there, all Boston was Liverpool. I never saw a Chelsea fan.
Yeah.
Maybe one or two. There'd be like one or two Newcastle fans, and every now and then an Arsenal fan. But it was always Liverpool or Celtic, especially Celtic.
Yeah.
And oh yeah, good old days hanging out with those guys. It was like, oh god, what do I do now?
The worst standard of football too. Just Scottish football is just the biggest joke. Sorry.
The rivalries are tough. Don't learn from the Celtics, especially when they're playing against the Rangers. That's some of the language there make a sailor blush. And
yeah,
we try to bring that over, thinking like, oh yeah, you mean the C words? Calling someone a cunt's the bad thing here.
I used to have a couple of Rangers shirts just to see if I could get any reaction. But I never did. It was
a lot worse back in the '90s. Everyone would be walking out like it was still Britpop was still around. People were like, my tuxedo top, Celtic, with Timmy on the back. And
I remember I moved here in '97 the first time, and that's what I remember as well. Celtic, and to the extent that anybody followed football, it was Celtic and Liverpool. But I remember more Celtic than anything else.
Yeah. With me, it's like they gave me a lot of crap, and then realized the shirt I have on, it's West Ham. On the back of it, it had DiCanio on it. So they're okay, mate. I can't do a really good Irish accent without really being bad. But yeah, you get a pizza. It's like, oh, okay. Thanks. Cool. I'll go over here with my own. Just leave me alone. And so yeah, it was troubling and all that. But so like basically met someone and like decided like I'm just getting too old in Boston. I've been here way too long. I graduated. I was working at a bank at the time. Funny, worked at a bank, moved to New York. All I could find as a job is being a stagehand electrician. Weird. Okay, different lifestyle altogether. And I just moved to New York. It was basically just got my thing around because I remember I wanted to go watch the first day I was here was September 1st, 2001. And if anyone who's follows England remembers that day very well. And me, because I was trying to find any place that was showing the game. So I finally I'm here at a bar down Lower East Side. It's more Alphabet City down I don't want to name off the bar because I don't go there anymore. But I ran into one guy who was actually one of the Hammers, Kev. And I was going he's having English. And this is about 11 o'clock at night. And I'm right there how did the game go? He's like, oh man, you didn't see? He's like, you did not know of any place to go. He's like, yeah, we won 5-1. It was like,
oh yeah,
yeah. It's like, oh, I missed that. No,
that was the German game. Yeah, that was Munich. Yeah.
It was a big one. But I didn't really see where they would have it in New York at the time, so it was my fault. I didn't know about too many places, but it was because I was hearing because like I said, long time listener, first time caller. I was hearing about a lot of people who they went to the website and to find where they would find when they go vacation any place else or I would say when you're on holiday, they would look up to see where the sports clubs. They didn't have that. What they had for the New York Hammers, that was the club that was, they had on there. And this is how old their list was. And this is back 2000. And I think they kept it going for about till 2004 or something like that. It was they defunct possibly before back in the 90s. They had a Net Zero account as their email address. If you even remember Net Zero. Yeah. Remember that because if you ever on Jeopardy, it might come up as a question.
Yeah.
And it was, and
I see those in the kiosk at Walmart, right at the.
Net Zero. It was free online email accounts back when people would charge with email accounts. It's okay. And it was that was the, and I kept on I'm coming up to New York. I'm moving to New York. How do I get a hold of you guys? Didn't have a listing of where they went. Didn't know anything. So I just came in here let's see what happens. Before that, I in Boston, where was Common Ground still around? Used to go there and harass them.
Oh, yeah.
Is it not the Kinvara? That was down in North Harvard. I'm not sure if that's around. I heard that closed. That was one place. There's a place, Plow and Stars. That's down on Mass Ave.
I've been there. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah.
It may still be a bar, but I don't know if they do the football thing.
Yeah.
I remember you couldn't cheer when you scored because you would wake up the neighbors upstairs. The bartender was shoot, and son, just don't cut me off. And the other one was Phoenix Landing.
Yep.
Which is funny because this is how long I lived in Boston.
The Liverpool bar. It's in Cambridge. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was. I guess it's all a Liverpool fortress, but that's back then when they were first opening. Went through. I never went to the Banshee. Banshee started up after I started living up here or down here, should I say, if I know my directions. Yeah, it was there. This is how long I lived in Boston. I mean, one that used to be kind of what you would call now Gothic club that was called Ground Zero. That was way back in early 90s, late 80s. Oh. And I think I saw because when I was at college, I worked for the WCBC and got free tickets to shows like mad. Went go see, I think it was Alien Sex Fiend there, and a couple of other it was the late 80s. Anything went. So it's weird that I went back into the place okay, so this is an Irish pub now. Okay, cool. It's a little bit different, but it's
else in Boston. It's an Irish pub now. Yeah.
Oh, come on. Foley's is fantastic.
Like the Rat. The Rat is a restaurant now, isn't it? You
Oh,
ever go to the Rat?
Oh, hell. I used to work at the Rat.
Yeah.
I used to be one of the bouncers for their hardcore shows and all that. The Rat Skeller. Worked there for like 8 years. No, yeah, I would like to say good old times, but we obviously haven't been to the Rat. Used to work in the Middle East also, but
I've been to the Middle East. No, that I've been to. Yeah.
back
The Rat predates me. The Rat predates me. At least Boston-wise, not age-wise. Boston.
Yeah, no, that was fantastic. It was Boston University wanted to buy Kenmore Square to expand it into like their version of Disneyland or Times Square or whatever Silverman has. Don't even know if he's still with. I've been out of Boston for so long.
Well, we live up near Lowell, so we have to. Basically. So when you moved to New York, how did you start to? So there was a group already watching when you got there.
No, there was no.
Okay, so there was nothing. There was nobody knew where to go or anything.
Nothing.
So you started all that basically. What did you do? So what year was this? Just about 2000.
So 2001. This is December. Yeah. December 8th, and on that date we were playing Manchester United. And like I said, we didn't. Well, I was building up to the story, and I sidetracked myself. So you guys gotta be patient with me a bit. I knew the only way that game would be on would be at this place called Nevada Smith's.
Oh, yeah. I've been to that place. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fortress for only Manchester United. Like Boston would be Liverpool, New York was Manchester United, and that was a fortress for it.
Yeah.
Yes, Tom McCarthy. When he first got that was one of the things he would stream in Man United games. I wasn't even there at that time, but I came in that day because I knew they would have the game, and I just didn't care if I was by myself. I just went. I went with my friend Graham, who was he himself is a Villa fan. He lives back in England, so shout out to Graham. Thanks. Went in there. And it was a big pit of Man United, all red. Everyone, like, you had to pay $20, and this was just a regular Premier League game, $20 for the viewing of it to get in. Nothing being mean because I'm different. Everyone had to pay $20 to get it going. Go in there, and I'm up by the bar, so I don't mind. Oh, wait, it's 0-0. Okay, didn't miss anything. Okay, this is going halftime, going great. Everyone's giving a couple of snares as expected, but I'm just oblivious to it. I don't care. And then Jermaine Defoe put a header right past Bathez. And if you know the game, that's the one where he lost the plot and tried to midfield try to get that goal back because we ended up like winning 1-0.
Yes.
At the time, I mean, I was literally ecstatic until to a couple of points where like, I am going to be legged out of here fast and being chased by a whole group of people. So I am safest place I can be right here at this bar because if they do anything, well, they're going to protect me, I guess. But the best thing was, like, when I walked over, it's like, I'm wearing a West Ham shirt, and Tom McCarthy comes up to me, good game, shook my hand and all that. I'm like, okay, I got one friend in here. I'm literally having people turn their, how do we lose this? But how? They're a shit team. We're better than this. How? and they're looking at me when they're saying any reference to West Ham. I'm like, you want me to agree? We're not that great. We just lost to like Blackburn 7-1. What do you want me to say? I think you're right. What do you want me to do? So I ended up staying there like most of the night. Go back, and then it was Nevada's was right off the L. It's gone now. It was on 3rd Avenue. It was right off the L line. At the time, I was staying excuse the sound of my squeaking in my chair. That's probably going to kill the engineering. I was living in Williamsburg, which was like off Graham Avenue. Yep. So it was like literally it'd take me 10 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
So I was coming in every weekend, so I'd be there with my girlfriend. Go like, she had to work during the day in retail, so I had like the whole day to myself, and I would just like jump onto the train and just hang out there, whether there was a game or not, and at least see the results. Which was why I showed up every week to be much the annoyance of everyone who was at Nevada Smiths. And let me tell you, I couldn't be pleased with Punch, whether I was loved there or not. That place was the CBGBs of all football hooliganism. Not really hooliganism, but like just rowdiness, everything you want to see. It was like people would come down and try to bring it to Man United, and they would all group together and just like have songs back. Only people I actually was able to get along with were like the 5 Chelsea kids who are now the New York Blues. The Neat Brothers, Simon, and a couple other. If I missed some names, sorry, it's been years.
If this was a different Chelsea too, right? That was before Abramovich. That
was way before. We still had Joe Cole. Yes,
right. They were a mid-table, lower table club. Yeah, they were like us actually.
Yeah. Basically, it was funny because after we lost 7-1 to Blackburn, a week later we beat Chelsea 2 or 3-1 back at them. So they were like, "Oh, okay, I guess you're not as crappy as I thought you were," and stuff like that. But no, I got along with them great because it was them. It was mostly the Arsenal fans would come up in numbers. They had a large population that was actually, and it's like the Nevada Smiths was brilliant because that was where you had to be. It's like it didn't even matter who was there. You know, the beers were going to be cheaper than they are nowadays. Like literally, I think I walked out like spending $3 after a good afternoon, which is, if you know, like large amounts of beers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was like that was brilliant. That would be like in today's numbers would probably be about like least like $100 a day, which I don't know how I could afford it back then, but it was great. That's where I learned actually how to do the songs and how I got really into it. And I was going like, wait, I don't want to watch this all by myself. So there was a couple of people like Joe Hurley used to be there because he used to live by, and he would go see the games. And Joe Hurley, how like Jake was shouting up for his Irish St. Patrick's Day thing that he does every year. He's famous rock star. Especially like in the thing, he was like a singer of Rogues March. But enough of Joe, enough name dropping. but he was there, and like I would get everyone's email and say like, look, I'll find out when the next game's here. If you guys want to just be in a group and let's watch it. So like the 2 or 3 people who were there who were West Ham, I'd see the shirts. I'd just get the emails, put in my queue, and like a month later, it's like, okay, we're going to be on. Meet you over at Nevada Smiths. And we'll stay there. So because it was really got to get some oil on the seat. It's very comfortable. So it's like, yeah, it's gonna squeak. Yeah, we would just have it, and I did that for a couple of years, and more people came in. Ken came in. There was right off the bat. Was this one fellow? I'm not sure if he's Russian, but I don't know if he's like, let's just say Russian, because I'm not sure what part he was from, because he's not with us any longer. His name is Igor, and he's literally, it was just me and him. We would go back and forth, and he passed away. He was this is the reason why I always thought he was Russian, but he followed the Ukraine team. He worked as a cab driver. He's the one that I think John from Vegas was saying had the West Ham vanity plates on his car.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It was me and him, and we would just go down there. We got along great. Never really like hung out too much afterwards. But like, I mean, after the games, we just like kind of like stayed in the bar until like 5, and then like, okay, I guess, gosh, throw myself on the L train and get back home. And yeah, he passed away because he worked his butt off to follow the Ukraine when they were playing Germany in the World Cup. Not just Germany, the whole German World Cup. So he wasn't able to go everywhere and all that. And then right after that, like following August or something like that, one of his friends came to the bar and had a picture of him because he couldn't speak English, except for like he's dead. That's all I could say. And had a picture of Igor and go like he's dead. And that's how we found out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's like so I'm having like everyone call me up like, oh, Sean, Igor, he's gone. It's like what? Because he came in for International Day. It was September International, and I wasn't there because I was working the night before or something. And yeah, I found out through the telephone. I was like devastated. I didn't know anything about his funeral, but I know where his grave is. I was going to visit today, but it's way out in Gravesend. And where I live in Jersey now because it's a lot cheaper than paying the rent in New York. Mm-hmm. So if there wasn't for like the Hudson, it would be the Upper West Side because I'm like right up there, like not in the hundreds. I'm just right there in a nice little community. But unfortunately, I have no train traffic, so I have to take the bus to Port Authority to be able to go anywhere in New York.
Yeah, that's hard. Yep.
So that was a tragic thing. But before he did, we were at Nevada's for the I think it was 2004. Yeah, I got the scarf right back there. The 2004 final against Crystal Palace.
Playoff final, yeah.
Yes, yeah. We were there, and it was weird. There was a whole bunch of I would like to say strangers until they become your friends, and now they're my best friends ever. Whole pack of them. They were coming over for friend's bachelor party because he just had his son, and ended up hanging out with them even though we lost. Uh-huh. And we ended up showing them around, and that was how we got our connection with everybody in London was through them. And we still keep in contact with them. Couple of them. I mean, I know these guys longer than actually a lot of people who are in the group because it was. It was me, Igor, Ken, and it was funny because they all thought I was Russian because they were talking to Igor and they're like, "So you're Russian too?" It's like, no. Why? What's Russian? But he was he was all the earth and very much missed, and unfortunately I just wish like more people knew about him, but it's just that's what happens when time just carries on. Yeah. But we got to meet them. That's where there was a connection with like a lot of it. With the club itself, with administration. They how I get communicated is like it's through them. They came over.
So they were over from England. They were over from London.
Yeah, they were here. That's great. Another great thing about New York, as opposed to Boston, was people like to come over here and shop. And Boston's it's just too much like home. It's cold, yeah. So yeah, that's true. Why travel all that way to be like in Manchester or Liverpool?
Right.
Like that.
They have the same weather that you get in England, and actually a city that looks a lot like a lot of cities in England. Yeah.
Yeah, but in England you don't get the wind. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah. And so like that's so it's really kind of carried on from then. I kept on going with it because it started growing little by little. I mean, now we get like normal attendance is about 60 people. With 60, yeah. Like when we had like that season where it looked like we were going for the last year for like for the last game at the Berlin, we had the bar was packed. There was over 150 plus, and of course I feel bad because the 6 Manchester United fans who showed up, I knew them all, and I felt bad, but they were like, it was just like, oh, the Savages have taken over. Oh, place is going to go be burned. Oh. It was that. It was like
that was at Smithfield, right? Was that at Smithfield?
Smithfield, yes.
When did you guys move to Smithfield?
It's the owner, Tom McCarthy, was the owner of Nevada Smiths.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
And I'm very good, like friends with the bartenders, staff, and all that. We've always been friends and all that. So when it came down to when Tom just like, okay, me and Kieran, we're going to go off and we're going to have another club. And you have no obligations to follow you. We're just going to open another club. Didn't know much about it. It took them for a while to get the licenses and everything ordered. And then they opened up the original Smithfields that was on 28th Avenue, which I still have cards that I was sticking for. And if you ever come up, I'll give you those kind of like the exact address. And what had happened was they had to move because they had the lease for at least good 10 years or something like that. But the owner of the building sold off the property to somebody else. So they had Amscray.
Right.
So that was kind of like a weird period. But we were able to go over to another part, like kind of like a sister bar, Lunasat. You won't believe that because if you look them online, it's like, oh, home of Liverpool. Okay. We would go there in between, like in the middle of it. And like, I mean, it's dedicated. It's like, I mean, Tom's great of the earth. I mean, you can't, him, Kieran.
Is he a West Ham? Is he a West Ham guy, or is he just?
Oh no! He's Manchester United through and through. That's why Smiths was the original fortress of Manchester United.
Yeah, that's his place, yeah.
And it is like, yeah, no, but I guess like I just been a thorn in both of their sides for the longest time, going, why? Why did we put up with him? Why? Oh.
Guys, so now this is interesting because you said you started just going to the bar, going to Nevada Smiths.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody else would show up with a West Ham shirt, you'd get an email address, say, let's all like meet up, again here at the same place. So when did you take it sort of online and take it to social media and sort of expand what you were doing?
Social media, as soon as Facebook came out and got popular. I mean, this was also around the same time when Facebook was just getting online. I'm going like, what? I'm like on there and I'm like logging on. There's everyone there were not American. They were English. They were jumped on. So like I went on, and if you want to follow me on Facebook, no problem. But I'm underneath Brooklyn Hammer.
Right. No, we do already. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I got a good reason why. Because when I went on there, I went New York City Hammers at Facebook. And then, what was it? Maybe like a month, 2, maybe 3. They dropped me. They said this was a business outlet and I would have to pay for it if I wanted to continue with New York City Hammers. So and they basically I couldn't even get on with my old email. So that's how I got into the Gmail, where I got New York City Hammers at Gmail. And so I went like, okay, try with Manhattan. Manhattan wouldn't work, so I went Brooklyn. So that's how I got the name Brooklyn Hammer, which is now whenever I go. There was times when I'd be like walking around like literally bowling ground, and like I'd be on Barton Street outside the bowling, smoking a cigarette because the beer's inside. Someone, hey Brooklyn, what's up? It's like, oh, suddenly I'm one of the kids for David Beckham or something like that. I'm like, it was like, okay, well, you call me Brooklyn. I don't care if you call me Sue, as long as you know I'm from New York and all that. So, which is actually really good thing because like going to the bowling, I mean, I would run into people left and right. Love the bowling. I think it can't be. I don't think it's closed. I think it's under different management from what I've been reading. I don't know if you guys know any wiser, but the building can't be taken down because it's a historical building.
I saw it was being renovated. I don't know if that means it's closed, if it's coming back or not.
It was open last May when I went there. So, but from what I heard, they were going to be closing it soon. From then, I don't know if it's been closed since. I've heard that it has been closed.
It's just,
But when I did go in there.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to reopen as the same thing or not. It's definitely under some sort of renovation.
yeah, it's
protected, so like you can't get rid of the building. But is it going to reopen as a pub? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. It's yeah.
That's where I went too. When I
Real
went
quick.
when I went to Bowling Grove, that's where I went too. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The chat room has been blowing up. I've
No,
never seen so many people in here.
let's do some.
So Wayne's here. Wayne from Dallas.
Wayne.
Wayne from Dallas is here. Gabe, as always. We have Governor.
Governor.
Frank.
We have Debs.
Oh, yeah, okay. Hi, Deb.
Debs is there. Jake's there. Jake, who we had on a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, Jake. Yep, good guy. Yep.
And William McCormick. And
Proud Will. Yes.
You know all these guys. These are all your friends.
My crew, yeah.
Your crew. Okay.
I advertise out of this on Facebook. It works.
To all the guys on the chat, first of all, welcome. Secondly, if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
It would help us a lot. But it's nice that they're on. I knew there'd be a crew for you because
they're all talking right back and forth with each other too, which is kind of cool. They're having a good time. And they're also yelling at someone was saying to Shonda, focus.
No, it doesn't matter. You guys are the OGs. I mean, you guys were like the original, the original West Ham group. I mean, as far as I know, so I knew there'd be a good response. So it's good to see.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, we've done this through thick and thin. I mean, I can't say how to take this formula and basically have it go over to another town because I wish I could tell you. I don't know. Just like keep on having a fun time at the games, whether you win or lose.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you have to do if you support West Ham. You have to just you have to have different expectations for what your experience is going to be, right? You have to have fun with the experience as opposed to.
It's your day out. You get to see the game. You get to see the team. You're not going to see that you're not going to turn on the news and they're going to be able to talk about the West Ham game. Like you only get that chance right there to watch how it's going, and or at least it was before. Now I guess it's now things a little bit changed because it's been more it's been all more global and all that. So you can be able basically just chat with someone on Twitter or something like that. I found out.
Now, how long have you been a soccer fan? Sorry to use the word soccer, but whatever.
That's all right. It's all right.
Because I know we're supposed to call it football, but I'm still from Texas, so
you go for it.
So you see, you go back to watching West Ham to the late '90s, which as you said, I was watching the football back then as well, and it was mostly like a highlight show on Fox Sports. I'm not even sure it was Fox Sports back then. And then you'd get like a game a month, and sometimes it was in the middle of the day, But so how did you get into the sport in general? Was it something that you were into from the time you were young?
West Ham.
Really, just West Ham?
West Ham.
That's fantastic.
It's solely West Ham. Tell you the truth, I was never going I'll get so many stories, especially when I was living in Boston. Everyone would tell me, I wouldn't ask. They would just tell me how they got into football. So that's why I don't really I don't want to tell people how I got into it, but basically West Ham. And they would tell me oh yeah, when I was back in the 80s when playing, Liverpool was winning everything. Okay, yeah, okay. I heard the same story from your friend over there. Your friend over there. It's the same tired story that's whatever, wears a shirt. I don't care. I'm just basically I don't care. And you always frown. You're with usually the expression in your face going, why? And I'm going, because it called me. I don't know.
It called me.
Yes.
No, that's exactly right. That's how I feel. It called me. It was you don't choose West Ham. West Ham chooses you.
Yeah, I never was really big in sports beforehand.
Yeah,
not really big in sports. So it's it wasn't my thing when I was in college. It's it was just more it was a little, it's just like something that was like different. So like I picked up to it, got more interested through it. So yeah, it was a calling. So I've never looked back since. So yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see, what else was there? I've been to like several let's see, the US tours. They've only had like 2 that I know of, or at least I've been to.
Yeah.
Was at the Seattle game, was at the North Carolina game. And
did you go to Columbus?
Columbus, yes. I was hoping you wouldn't bring that one up.
No, yeah, okay. So we got a little bit of a story, Tim. What's I'm sorry, the guy from Columbus, Kevin. Yeah. So Kevin was at the game. Kevin from Columbus, the Columbus E13.
I met him on the bus at that game. Yeah.
Yeah, good dude. Kevin's a really good dude. So he told us a little bit about what went down, the infamous, battle between the crew and the West Ham fans. So what happened when you were there? What was your experience?
I would tell you all the truth. You could probably still find the footage on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious. It's like for some strange reason, and it wasn't us who were videotaping it. It happened during halftime, from what I understand. And I was getting a beer. Actually, no, that's when we got the huge flag, and I was like, I was like, we're gonna take it to the other side so other people can see it, because everyone was on one side, there was no on the other side, so we ran over. So I just took it down, like ran to the other side and hang it up. So like it was $1,000 flag. I'm going to have someone look at it for once.
You know, $1,000 for one of those things?
No, it was big. It was big as I get without having to see him in the middle of it.
Wow, I had no idea. Okay.
This one's not that much. Thank you, but that was.
I guess I won't be having one made anytime soon if the cost.
They're cheaper now. If you think about most people who do, especially back then, it's probably changed a little bit. When you're doing something that big, it's usually corporate, and whatever money you charge, it's going to be written off on taxes.
That's true.
Yeah. So that's probably. And I was just going like, I just got okay, Frank, I know. Focus. Yeah.
Frank. So tell us about Columbus. Tell us about Columbus. What was your experience there?
So it was weird. We drove over there. Everyone else took the train, which was a smarter move, or flew. We drove over there, and I could tell you this: I can't stand to see another forest ever again in my life. We drove over there. We roll into like Columbus, and seriously, I thought the zombie apocalypse happened. There was no one on the streets. This place was supposed to be a big city. No one there. Like we saw, like one guy driving around, and I think he was Amish. Not completely sure, because that would be me, like assuming that he was Amish, but it looked like he was pretty Amish, and that was the only guy we saw on the streets. We had a room booked over the DoubleTree where the team was staying. So we get out there, and as soon as we get out the door, of course I'm riding with Frank and Ken, and Don was with us in the car. We get out after like it's cruising a long time. We go out, and there's Anton Ferdinand coming back from Nike Town with like a lot of the youth squad, walking into the hotel. And the governor, Frank, bless him, comes in like cut off combat shorts, fatigues and all, hardcore t-shirt, and has 2 sleeves. So they were like, and we get in the elevator with them. So we're all like, what? And like, and we're here like, Don has sleeves too. Ken's just an old guy who is fantastic. He's been with us since day one. But he was probably, and there's me who was just like looking like, oh God, geez, when we get into the hotel, I need to take a nap. So they were like, and we're going like, hey, Anton, how you doing? And I was like, all right, hey, how you doing? So we get in there. We didn't realize that we were going to be in the same hotel as the whole team. And it was actually fun, because like you were waiting to get our room assigned, and literally it's just like everyone's walking by, everyone from that team just nonchalantly, like it's like we were in the dressing room of the like at their stadium or something. So it's like everyone just hanging out, not even noticing us.
Did you talk to him at all? Did you meet any of the guys, any of the players?
I didn't really interview. I just said hi to him. I mean, what else can I really say?
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming. Didn't really like want to take up the time too much. That would be a little bit. I thought it would be a little bit awkward. It's like scare them off or something, and they're hiding in the room or something. You know, I was enjoying the fact that they were just hanging around. Like Ludo was in the bar. And, no, it was, man, the whole time.
That's funny.
He was getting course there. It was like I got an autograph on my shirt. Like I got a couple of them sign it. Courtesy came by. He's like, no, pull the shirt over and I'll write on it so it doesn't get sloppy. Okay, cool. And Ludo, like, oh wait, I should get Ludo to sign it. So I ran to the bar. I knew where he was at. And but what happened there was, from what I guess, everyone during halftime went over to, because the two sides were like split. Like one side was all Columbus Crew, and they were just using words that you really don't use in public. And there was our side and all that. And sure enough, like a couple of the guys came over and started like singing Bubbles and all that. And the Columbus guys threw beer at them. So that's when they got freaked out and started trying to rush him, and the stewards just pulled some people off and all that and started exiting them out. And I'm just like right after the second half starts, I'm about to go back to where everyone else is in the seats. And I'm like, what happened to your shirt? It's like, oh, there was a fight and all that. I'm going, what? No, I didn't know what was happening. On the way back home, we're hearing about all this, how the club's going to investigate everyone who was involved, and that there's going to be punishments and lifetime bans being thrown left and right. What you would think. And then, of course, they're thankful is someone in Columbus pretty much videotaped the whole thing, thinking that, like, how badass are we? We still down like West Ham, put it on there, and just shows totally that we just got attacked.
Yeah.
So it was like completely dropped. Never heard a thing about it. And really shouldn't mention it too much.
Well, because I mean, it's a bunch of like, it's West Ham fans, you know, on holiday, like in the U.S. on vacation, you know, hanging out, having a good time, and then they get ambushed by.
They have the numbers, but we have, you know, like I'm sorry, they have the numbers, but we have the heart. So fair enough.
How about Elijah Wood? Was he involved?
You had to bring him up.
Hey, a lot of Americans have come to be West Ham fans from that movie, for better or worse, right? They have.
Yeah, that's why I tell everyone in England when they ask me why I became a West Ham fan, like, I watch Green Street Hooligans. Why?
Green Street.
Like, it's going to kick off.
Let's go kick off. Bova, mate. It's Bova. Yeah, I know. It's a terrible movie, but it's entertaining. And people.
It's a great chick flick. My girl. God, look at those pearly eyes of Elijah. She loved it. It's probably why I don't go out with her. I'm married now. I'm much smarter. Otherwise, I'd be watching, like, I don't know, a John Cusack film right now, going like, oh yeah, this is great for the 100th time. Yay. No, Elijah Wood, believe it or not, he actually was a fan. He never came to any of the games and all that I know of in New York, but he was living in New York for a while. And I was down in Union Square Station waiting for a train. It could have been just Thursday. I was wearing a shirt. Could have been Wednesday. I was wearing like a West Ham shirt. And I walked by this guy, like, really, like, I'm gonna curse, but like it was like fucked up coloring hair and all that, and you know, like this little short guy I'm wearing, just looking like, whoa, and like I'm like, what the fuck? Oh shit, that's Elijah Wood. And he just like scattered off. I didn't want to chase after him and go like, oh my God, I love you. Oh no, that's the wrong thing I'm approaching you about. Like, just carry on, yeah. But yeah, no, it's about Elijah Wood. He spotted me out wearing a West Ham shirt. So like I give him credit. So fair enough. He said he was gonna be a West Ham fan. He was really about it. So like,
so he talked to you?
Nah. New York, no one does that.
No, but he spotted you. Did he like? Oh,
yeah, he just looked over me, and I'm thinking like, what's this guy's problem?
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
With his blue eyes. I mean, I was like, okay, cool. He like was going, yeah, cool. Like just walked off. So that was it. So
an acknowledgement from I can't remember the name of the character he played, but it doesn't matter.
Someone in the chat room says the Hobbit hooligan.
Right. What's his name in The Hobbit? I don't remember much about The Hobbit. Frodo? Not Fredo. That's from Godfather. Frodo?
No, it's Fredo.
Frodo, yeah. Fredo's from The Godfather.
Fredo's Max Tower in Godfather. What's with all the references to The Godfather? They keep pulling me back in. Oh no, that's a different film.
The gangster movies I like. The Hobbit movies less so.
They're good.
So, unfortunately, we're running low on time. But do you want to touch on the Everton match? Or you want to touch on the Declan Rice thing, or what do you want to do?
Okay. I want to talk about a little bit more about me and wife. We got a whole bunch of air miles. We try to go out to all the different clubs that San Diego, Nashville. Nashville's been excellent to us. They actually Eric and Clint, they're my boys. I love them to death. We came over just to visit, say hi to them. They ended up taking us to the New Zealand-Mexico game. They had tickets for us.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
If you ever see footage of that, you were the 4 people who weren't supporting Mexico. And
right.
Gonna leave it at that. And they're great. I mean, should have them on the show. Call them up. They're fantastic people. They've
Nashville?
Over to Nashville to hang out with them.
I think they're coming on at some point soon. Yeah,
they are. They are the 14th.
14th. Yep, April 14th.
They're great. Say hi to Eric. Say hi to Clint for me. San Diego, fantastic.
Yep,
Yep, they're on the schedule too.
We have them too. Yeah,
they're great.
They're
very, very helpful.
If I have the date yet, but I have Bayou Ironworks, Holy City, which is Charleston. I have Nashville. I have Chicago, Knoxville. Maryland's our next one.
Oh, okay. We haven't been there. I think I know a couple of people, Chaz and stuff like that.
Chaz, yeah, who used to be at San Diego.
Yeah. Know him. Seattle.
Seattle. I've talked to. I haven't picked a date yet.
Chris Caballero, who as far as I know, runs it over there. He's great. He's great people. When we
need a date in Hollywood, LA, I've spoken to, and they again with Seattle. Please, if you guys are watching, reach out to me because I send you guys dates. I need you to pick a date and let's get this going.
Yeah, no, they're good. They're great people. I mean, seriously, it's like Nashville is like, wow, this town's awesome. We get to it. We came in just to have a couple of drinks and we're going to a game. Fantastic. Nice. Oh God, I'm using my hands like Donald Trump or something. Okay,
it's funny. Nashville is like the new bachelors. What do you call it? Like
where the women go for bachelorette parties.
Yeah, the bachelor party capital now of the United States. It's not Vegas anymore. It's Nashville.
Right. Yeah, Vegas. Yeah, I don't know what happened with Vegas. I don't know, but yeah, it's all that bro country music people love.
Oh, okay.
That's
I see it, but it's like, this is Broadway, and I don't. I guess women like cowboys. There you go.
Yeah, they like fake. They like fake cowboys, but right now.
It's what's great about Nashville is it reminds me a lot about Dublin. Every bar has live music, and
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Austin like that too. A lot of live music in Austin as well. You go up to that 6.
Austin. Forgot to say hi to Chris. Down in Austin, to all the kids in Austin. We go down every year for the Formula One, and somehow I get myself smashed that Saturday watching the game because I'm just like, oh my God, it's a fun time and all that, and I end up tripping over some stairs or something like that at least once. Omar in Dallas. Man, he's another great person to talk to.
My boy Wayne, he's been on with us. Yep.
Yeah, Omar's fantastic.
Good dude.
Anyway, okay, so how much time do you have? I was supposed to keep count of this, but we
usually go no more than we usually go no later than 10:15. So
Okay.
you go like 10 minutes.
We get in trouble with our wives if we go past 10:15. So
Okay, with the Everton game, I tell you the truth, the rest of the season, I don't care what happens. We're already past the 42 points. After 40 points, we're safe.
yeah, but we went down on 42 in 2003. Don't forget.
Yeah, and I also blame Sam Allardyce for that too.
What?
So,
No, one more point, and I'll feel fine. We have a draw on Saturday, and then I'm fine.
got 7 games, prove it. I hope we get a point out of that. Oh.
Yes.
Everything I thought is completely wrong.
I hope we do too. Yes, at least one. Yes.
You'd just be like, why did I have to say that on the interview?
But everybody was talking about the likelihood of Nasri starting, and then all of a sudden it came out this morning or yesterday, late last night, that Nasri might not play this game due to an injury, due to knock in training.
Bad news.
Yeah. I mean, he's in his early 30s, and it happens. I mean,
but him and Anderson and Manzini.
I mean, I hope
it would be beautiful.
I like it. I like him when his teams seem me a little bit more like in there when he like more like imaginative and like
yes, seeing
him like with him there. I thought he was just going to be like everyone else we get at the end of the career and just dead wood. He's actually plays a lot. So I'm actually impressed. I hope we keep him for another season.
I do too.
And probably for another season, you're probably wondering about Declan Rice too, right?
But the rumor is Monaco wants him.
Monaco wants
him now. You did a really good job Monday. So those rumors are going to come. I mean, it's great that there's insight to it. If anything, I mean, it's his decision. It's totally his decision, especially like how he like changed over nationalities. It's just to do it. And it's like I hope the best for him. I mean, I'm not going to have any sour grapes towards it because, I mean, it's his life. I can't really tell you. I just hope he stays. But the likelihood, how much money is going to be offered, be thrown at him, is going to be the same reason why Gareth Bale didn't stay at Tottenham to Real Madrid. It's going to be like that. It's going to be like I'd like to be able to afford a mansion in the French Riviera or stuff like that.
I mean, with Declan though, I understand what you're saying. I do, but I mean, I would think surely we could, rework his contract, get him on higher wages. I mean, I don't know.
It may not with him. It may not be like the money and all that. I mean, I don't think we're going to lose him this season or like during the summer transfer.
No.
I think he needs a little, but I think he's being. I think a lot of the press is winding him up because he did such a great job. Yeah. The other thing has been made official. They have to go through the club first, so nothing's really been official. But they're just letting it go because, he's having his moment in the sun right now. So.
Well, I mean, obviously he goes. He has a good performance for England, and he comes in as a substitute in the first match, plays well in the second match. Everybody sees what he can do. Everybody's seen him all season in the Premier League. It's always going to attract attention from bigger clubs. That always is the way. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel as though with where the board are right now with the fans, and maybe it doesn't matter because we're packing 60,000 people into these games, and supposedly there's a season ticket waiting list, and maybe they don't care because they're getting their money anyway. But there's still there's an undercurrent of discontent that I think exists in the fan base with the move to the stadium, with the relative lack of success we've had compared to expectations. They did spend some last summer. The rumors are not going to spend as much this summer. It's been there's always an undercurrent of sort of discontent. I think selling Declan Rice would be, unless he just forces a move, right? That's different.
No, he won't. I don't think
he'll do that. He's an academy grad. I don't think he's 20 years old. I don't think he'll do that. I think selling him would be beyond tone deaf. I think it'd be borderline suicidal. I just think it would be. I mean, you would get riots again. I'm not condoning that. I'm just saying. Look, what would happen? But
there'd be bloodshed in the streets. That's what you're saying.
People would blood would run down the sidewalks of Stratford if there are any. I don't know, but people would go absolutely mad, absolutely bonkers if they sell him. Surely. I mean, surely they are in touch with the supporters enough, and they see his quality enough. And they see our what I think is a forward trajectory for the club enough that they'll say, you know what, no, not yet, not now. He's on a 5-year contract. Let's keep him for at least one more, And let's face it. I mean, what at Manchester United? What are they going to offer? Like, wow, the only figure I saw was something like £40 million. It's not enough. It's not even close to enough. You know, that's a guy. He plays for us for another couple of years, and if you really do want to sell him and cash in on him, you're getting up into triple digits. I mean, I think he's that good. You know,
Yeah.
Get some England performances under his belt. Sell it for £100 million. I don't want to see him go at that price either. But I'm just saying, if you can fund an entire sort of summer of spending from one guy, let's wait until we can do that. Now is not the time on any level to sell Declan Rice on any level. They do it.
Oh, I think he's too young. That's why I think he's going to be on season 2. We'll see. It's his decision. I mean, like I can't really deny someone like going like for, say, a better opportunity just because like loyalty. I mean, I am saying that. Don't get me wrong, but I can't really deny him to do that.
Well, you have to think about. I mean, listen, I've been recruited to other jobs. It's been a long time, granted, but back in the '90s, I used to write for magazines, and I got recruited from one to a rival magazine. It was more money. It was a higher profile, and I took it. And I loved the place where I was, but it was a better offer. That's all there was to it. These guys are the same way. They're professionals. He's a young player. Footballers, careers get up into their mid-30s and that's it. And then they have to go do something else. So they have to earn as much as they can while they can. He's got hopefully he's got a 10 or 15 year window of being a really top earner. I mean, yeah, if somebody comes along and makes an offer, he can't refuse. Speaking of the Godfather, he's going to have to take it. And I understand that. I sympathize with that. On a tiny little, much lower level 20 years ago, I did the same thing, right?
Yeah.
On a minuscule sort of, so I get that. But I feel as though, that's if it's his decision, I respect his decision. If it's the club's decision, that's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think unless it was a lot of money, they wouldn't do that. It would kill the spirit of the fan base.
I think it would too.
They wouldn't just take it.
And it's too early. It's too early. What I would really love for once is for these English players to do what Bale did. Go somewhere else. Go to Spain or Germany. Well, they don't spend that kind of money in Germany, but I mean, go to
Americans.
If we have to be a selling club, I hate that. But if we have to be a selling club, could we just please not sell within the Premier League for once? Could we sell to a Liga or could we sell to Serie A or I don't know, just somewhere where we can watch the player and be proud of him? And
television rights right now, it's a big life or death thing whether a club stays in the Premier League or not.
Yeah.
It's that much money in it. That's whereas it's lacking with the other leagues around the world, like the French league and all that. I mean,
only PSG and the French league have money. Nobody else in the French league has money. That's a terrible league. Believe me, I follow the French league.
Yeah,
terrible. No,
one club has it. I think it's Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG have money. Monaco have money, but they don't know how to spend it. But PSG have the real money in France, and that's it. And yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Premier League TV rights are far greater than any other league that I can think of around the world. I think the only thing that would come close might be La Liga, but I'm not sure it's even remotely close to what you get for Premier League. So, but at the same time, we can't always be a selling club. We have to, if we want to move forward and be contenders for Europe and do what we're supposed to do with this ambition with the Olympic Stadium, we have to keep some of these guys around and let them, perform for us before we ship them off somewhere else. And, God forbid, if we get relegated, that's Premier League money we're not getting. So
true.
You don't want to be another Villa. You don't want to be another Leeds. I know they're looking like coming back, but Leeds were in the Champions League semifinals in 2001. And then they sort of fell off the face of the earth for almost 20 years.
So they lost all the money. They didn't know how to spend it right.
Right, exactly. Well,
I'm not going to say that before I get jumped by Leeds fans saying oh, you're completely wrong.
No, I think they know that's right. Yes.
Boston Fan Fest.
Yes. All right. Yes, we're running out of time. So Saturday, the Big Boston Fan Fest is at Fenway Park. I think we have between 15 and 20 West Ham fans going, if you do not count my 2 kids who are also going. So that'll be, well, we'll just see how that goes. But anyway, so we're going to have, we're supposed to be outside the Cask and Flagon around 11 o'clock or maybe 11:30 in the morning.
I heard 10:30.
Well, I think we're meeting at 10:30. The West Ham fans are all meeting at 10:30 at a Qdoba or something. I can't remember where it's on ComAv, I think. Then we're going to walk over to Cask and Flag, and you got to be at the bar before 11:30 to be able to get in with the tickets. We all have tickets in the bar, which not everybody has. So if you watch our channel on Saturday, we're going to take live clips. All we know how to do is do stuff live and then put it up in the archive. That's so. If you tune in, you might see us live. If we're not live, you can definitely see archive clips as they filter in throughout the day. But we're going to have our phones. We're going to have battery backups. We're going to be talking to West Ham fans about why they're West Ham. We're going to be having scenes from the street party. We're going to have scenes from inside the Cask and Flagon.
Post-match reactions.
Pre-match predictions, post-match reaction. Hopefully some goal celebrations. Hopefully there'll be some goals to celebrate. We'll see about that. But check out American Hammers TV on YouTube. Please like and subscribe. And then on Saturday, all day long, we should have stuff just going up throughout the day for FanFest. And that'll be from about 11 o'clock in the morning until, the game is at 1:30 and we'll end around 3:30. So from about 11 to 4, about a 5-hour span when there should be a whole lot of stuff going up, hopefully.
For sure. And Sean, man, I really, really, really want to thank you, man, for joining us tonight.
You're amazing. You're awesome.
Yeah, and listen, we have to have you back on because I got to hear this Rusty Knott story. I also got to hear something about the Patriot Bar stories.
Rusty Knott story? Is that James?
Next time. We're already an hour deep. We got to say
something about a bar down in Soho that you fell off.
My wife's hearing this and she's dying on the floor laughing about it.
She does.
So
I'm gonna have them. I'm having them.
So,
for this.
So we need to have you back. So we want to hear some more stories. Obviously, we know an hour wasn't long enough, and they were, everybody in the chat room was saying that they're like, "Oh, this is going to turn into a 2-hour special for sure." But unfortunately, we can't. So we'll definitely have you back.
We're not that far from New York. We'll get down there for a game at some point.
100%.
Maybe next season, to be honest. But we'll get down there for a game, and we'll just do it live.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Let's do it live. All right. So, listen, thank you so much again. I just want to tell the listeners real quick that we have a few shows coming up. We have next up would be the Saturday shindig with Boston. But also Sunday night, we have Maryland Hammers on, Chaz from Maryland. And then on the 4th of April, we have Knoxville. And then thereafter, we have Chicago Hammers, Nashville Hammers, Holy City, Bayou, I mean, a whole bunch. And then also, which I'm not going to mention yet until these are 100% confirmed, so I don't want to jinx anything, but we have quite a few special guests that we're going to have on our Monday shows, kind of like we did this previous Monday. We had 2 special guests from the UK. Since the time difference, the only way we can really do it is on Mondays. We got some real cool guests lined up from the UK to kind of introduce them to the American fan base, which is what we want to do.
We're also we're John from Vegas and I are also working on trying to get some authors of West Ham books who've written books over the years. We do a scholarly video. I'm going to smoke a pipe and wear one of those Sherlock Holmes hats and maybe and I'll put on a little bit of an accent and but no, we're trying to get some authors on. I've been lining a couple of people up. So if you are into a serious academic discussion, tune in for that.
So yeah, we're doing our best to add more content just so everybody knows, and also soon enough, I mean, as soon as we figure this out, we're gonna polish up the content itself. So listen, thank you. This is a blue collar thing, man. We're doing this out of just the love for West Ham, and sure enough, it looks like we're winging it half the time, but it's all about growing the West Ham fan base. Yeah, we're having fun with this, man. So we want you to have fun with us. So please tell everybody who's a West Ham fan. Share these videos. Please share the videos, and then like and subscribe. Tell them to like and subscribe, etc. So we can continue to grow this thing. We're not going to stop. So
don't worry about it. And it's too much because I'm like, oh, I didn't do that, did I? Oh, this is gonna get around.
All right, guys. Come on, you Irons.
Come on. Take care.